Da 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 da. That's all I really got for that. Okay, so Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is not only the final installment of this new Star Wars trilogy that we have, but it's also the final episode of the Skywalker saga as a whole. It's directed by J.J. Abrams, who previously directed The Force Awakens, and there's really no way to talk about the plot of this movie without spoilers. So the only things you do know about this movie, the Emperor has returned, it's the end of the saga, the end of the trilogy, and my anticipation for this movie wasn't as strong as it was at the beginning of this new era of Star Wars. Because, like, it was kind of riding high with Force Awakens, and admittedly, I'm not, like, the biggest Star Wars fan or anything. I'm a casual fan. I do like the movies overall. I do have some merchandise. I do know, like, the basic stuff of the franchise. And for some reason, like, well, not really for some reason, but you can probably guess. This movie, I didn't really anticipate it, honestly. Not that I wasn't, like, looking forward to it, but more like I kind of kept forgetting that I was even seeing this movie this week. Like, I kept reminding myself, like, in the past couple weeks, I'm like, oh yeah, this movie's coming out. Rise of Skywalker's finally coming out. And I'm like, oh, right, it is. Right, I bought tickets for that back in October, and yeah, I'll see it. I'm definitely seeing it opening night. And overall, this movie is watchable. It's fine. It's okay. But I kind of just felt numb to most of it, honestly. Okay, so what are some things that work in this movie? The performances, for the most part, they're good, and I think that's one of the few things in this new trilogy. The performances, for the most part, are getting better. Like a lot of people don't like Daisy Ridley as Rey. I actually liked her a lot in this movie, surprisingly, especially towards the end. I thought she did her best acting here of the three movies. Adam Driver, he's also really good in this movie. He's also improving upon the first two movies as well. Oscar Isaac and John Boyega as Poe and Finn. They're fine, but they definitely have personalities, but they don't really do much in this movie, unfortunately. They're fine for what they do, but I wish they could do more in this movie. And that's a whole other video I kind of want to talk about, but the fight choreography, that's really fun as well. You get a few more lightsaber duels than you have in the first two movies as well. Also, the big battle sequences are really cool as well to see. They're a lot of fun. There's some really great moments in them. This is a movie with a lot of really cool moments, but I wasn't like really blown away by any of them. And I think that's the best way to describe this movie. A lot of fun moments, a lot of cool moments, a lot of fan service, but I just wasn't blown away by it. And they do answer a lot of questions that have been lingering from the first two movies. And like one's kind of in passing at the beginning, and the other one it's really dived into in this movie. And I doubt that was the plan from the beginning, but that's for another video, another time. And this is just about Rise of Skywalker only. And I think that's kind of where I'm going to lead into my negatives with this movie. There's some things in this movie that I kind of did not care for. Like, the way they use Carrie Fisher in this movie. Obviously, you can't use Carrie Fisher anymore. Sadly, she has passed away. And they used cut dialogue from Force Awakens and Last Jedi to bring her back in this movie. And to me, it just didn't work out the way that I think they wanted it to. And, like, there's supposed to be a big scene involving her in the middle of the movie, and in the way that was handled, I just did not feel it whatsoever. And I feel like I should, but I just didn't. Meanwhile, there's also a really shocking thing that happens around the end of the first act with one of the original characters from the Star Wars series. And it was shocking when I saw it. Like, my mouth dropped. And that was like one of the few times where I actually felt something in that movie. I'm like, oh my god, they actually did that. I can't believe they did that. How are they going to come back from that? Like, what are they going to do after that? And then they kind of fixed that within 5 minutes. Like, oh, okay, well, I just felt something for nothing, I guess. And like I keep saying this, but there's a lot of fun in this movie. not really a lot of fun in this movie. There's a lot of really cool things that happen in this movie, but I at the same time just didn't really feel like much. Like I didn't like I was uncomfortably numb during this movie. And like okay, so like they also introduced a few new characters in this movie, and none of them were that interesting. Like I couldn't even remember their names. Like even like right as the movie was ending, I couldn't even remember some of their names. Like you have a new character, like a new villain besides the Emperor in this movie, who really didn't do much, and he just all of a sudden kind of came into power. That's one of the few things that's never really explained. And Kerry Russell plays a new character in this movie. I kind of forgot she was a character in this movie until a moment later on, like way after her scene occurs. And like they also introduce a new alien character who I kind of thought was a little annoying. They also introduce a new droid who doesn't really do much. They introduce a new character who's very similar to Finn, and they didn't really do much with her either. And yeah, like there's some really cool touches in this movie. Like there's a really cool mention of the prequels towards the end of the movie, which I thought was really nice, really well handled, surprisingly. And like again, a lot of really awesome moments in this movie. I just didn't really feel it. Like I feel like these moments should be awesome. Like this is the end, and I just can't feel it, and I just can't like feel anything emotionally. And like I think that kind of brings me to what I feel like about this saga as a whole. Like they really needed a plan for this whole trilogy of movies, because like they initially had the outline, and then Rian Johnson came in and kind of did his own thing, which personally I think it worked for the most part, but I can understand why people really don't like it. And you can clearly tell that J.J. Abrams is just trying to both fix that and try to fix what he like trying to bring back what he thought worked from the first movie. And overall, we kind of just get a mismatched movie overall. So they really need to stick to the plan that they tried to do. Because I don't think, obviously, not everything was going to go according to plan with this movie. Obviously, with, some various things like Carrie Fisher's passing, you couldn't really do much with that, unfortunately. And I don't know. Overall, I feel like Rise of Skywalker, it's definitely a good movie overall. It's not a good movie, I would say. It's definitely a passable movie. It's definitely worth a watch just for, just to see how this franchise ends, how this trilogy and how this saga comes to an end. The performances are really good, the fight scenes are really good, the battle scenes are really good, John Williams' score is always amazing. There's definitely some good surprises there, and there's definitely some moments where it's like, that's definitely something that the fans wanted, but at the same time, I'm just feeling nothing during this movie, and that surprised me more than anything. But then again, my thoughts going into this movie, where I kind of just felt nothing afterwards, and right going into the movie, I just didn't really feel anything going in, and afterwards, I kind of didn't feel anything coming out. So maybe that's on me and the movie and this whole trilogy as a whole, but. Yeah, it's worth a watch at some point. It's just not a movie that you really need to rush and see, but you probably should rush and see it so you can avoid being spoiled over this movie. So overall, I will give Star Wars Rise of Skywalker 2.5 out of 4 stars. Stream it. And within the next few days, I'll probably talk about spoilers with this movie, because I feel like that's the better way to talk about this movie. Meanwhile, I'll also upload a video where I talk about I'll rank the Star Wars movies as a whole. Mostly the original trilogy, sequel trilogy, prequel trilogy, Rogue One, and Solo. Talk about that. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Rise of Skywalker. What are your thoughts on the movie? What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Not like your favorite trilogy or anything, but like what's your favorite singular movie? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and may the Force be with you.